Hi, Blair here with MXM. Been talking about our member experience manual and the education that we do around it. And the whole point of all that education and teaching what I've called is the core logic of the organization, vision, mission, values, and now we're going to start talking about freedoms and obligations, is that if people really understand those pieces in an abstract way, they can apply them in real life and make decisions that are aligned with the company's purpose and service strategy. And that you can really empower them, which is a wildly overused word. And the way I want you to think about empowerment is it's giving people the right to say yes, not just more elegant ways to say no. In fact, I think in the first writing of this, when we first started maybe 15 years ago, we were talking about how do we get people to just take stuff on. And so we did an experiment. At the time we had one club, and we said, okay, let's get the front desk together. And we said, okay, you guys, from now on, because what was happening was anytime a member asked for something, they would come to management. By the way, this is always a leadership problem. It's never a frontline problem, always a leadership problem. So they would come and they'd say, hey, this member wants this, and they would wait for us to give the answer. Well, we would then give the answer. And so then that created this, okay, that is the process. I'm gonna come to you for the answer. So we finally did an experiment and we said, okay, you guys can only come to us to seek permission to tell the customer no. Whatever the customer, you have to deal with it. Whatever they want, only seek permission if you want to tell them no. So we kind of held our breath and hoped, and we were blown away by the decisions that the front line was making with very little training on how to do this, just simply understanding what we were trying to accomplish as a business, what our service strategy was, and what's best for the member as well. It was really quite amazing. We came up then, there's a section in here, it says, I don't know if you can see it, it says freedoms and obligations. And we have 9 of those freedoms and obligations. And then as we teach those freedoms and obligations, people start to understand their guide rails, okay? I can kind of bounce between those when I'm operating in a day. The way we talk about vision, mission, values, freedoms and obligations is that the vision, mission, that's where we want to go. Mission is why we get out of bed in the morning. The values are kind of the rules of the game, right? This is how we're going to play the game. And then we say these 9 freedoms and obligations, 1 and 9 are sort of the ends of the field. 2 through 8 are the sidelines. Take the values and go play. But you have to understand them. So I'm going to just read to you the first one today, and then I'll roll through them. The first one we call You Decide. You're free to do whatever you see is reasonable to make the member happy. That's it. You're obligated to show discipline to our principles and values. So, okay, that's pretty good guide rails. I can do whatever I think is necessary to make the member happy. I'm obligated to stay within the principles and values. I better understand the principles and values and the objectives of the business. And then in training, then we do examples of that. So imagine you're training that. You could so easily create a case study or a mini case study, a micro case study that says, okay, let's just apply that one freedom and obligation. Here's the scenario. Mrs. Jones comes in, and then just paint the scenario. How would you apply? How does this apply? And then get the group to talk. That's it for today. I'm hell-bent on getting more and more sort of experiential learning and education for teams. And it's amazing how much more they love their jobs. Remember, the biggest motivators are play, purpose, and potential. You want to lean into those motivators and make sure you are supplying a lot of that. Until the next one, I hope your reopen is going fabulous. We think we're about maybe July 13th before we can really have members coming into the clubs. That's it for now. You should be using our reopen feedback system. If you are still shut down and haven't used our free shutdown system, you should. Both are free. Go to mxmetrics.com. All right, that's it.